Hi, this is Raj from My Sportscars. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the options that you can essentially get on the 981 Caymans, things that can be spec from the factory, but also, more importantly, what additional items can you change on the car to sort of customize it to your tastes. Now, obviously, most people look for their ideal spec Cayman 911 Boxster. They look for the right colour, the right wheels, what colour the interior is, whether it's black leather, whether it's a two-tone, say, pebble with cream leather. They look for whether it has the sport seats or it has the regular, well, there's the sport seats and then there's sport seats plus in this edition. And so what you might find is that the car's got the right spec, but the history might not be there, or the mileage is too high, or it's just simply too expensive with all the bits you want. So what you can do is buy a car which is sort of 80 or 90% there, and then essentially change bits as you see fit. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to spray paint a car, so obviously choose a car with the right colour, an agreeable colour to you. So if you want a bright red, Guards red one like this one, then go for that. If you're not too fussed, if you just want one with that's a dark colour, then you would go for that, like a grey or a black. So these are the standard sport seats. Now, essentially, I mean, even just looking at the interior, there are a lot of things that even after it's been built, you can change over quite easily with the help of a Porsche Specialist near you, or even Porsche themselves will actually help you to order the parts and switch them over in the car. I would personally use a Porsche Specialist because their labour rates and their knowledge of how to do these things will be just as good as Porsche. They may actually take a bit more time and care over your car, potentially. Again, I'm not saying anything bad about Porsche main dealers, but from my experience, I've had great experiences with a lot of different Porsche specialists in this area and also across the country. So I would say don't discount going to a local Porsche specialist and speaking to them about some changes you want to make. For example, some people, if they've got the PDK gearbox, so the 7-speed, they want this wheel. This wheel has full-size paddles, so you can change gear very easily. They're easy to reach. They're not sort of toggle switches. I'll show you a 911 over there, which has the more standard wheel with all the multifunction bits on it. So they want this wheel, and if a car doesn't have this steering wheel, then they could essentially discount it, even if everything in the car was to their liking. Now, I would say actually, if everything on the car was perfect and it didn't have this steering wheel, what you can do is actually you can buy this steering wheel. Porsche still produce it. Porsche still stock it. From memory, it's around £900. With programming and fitting and everything, I think you'd be looking at spending around £1,200 to get this steering wheel in your car. You would retain the airbag module from your existing steering wheel, and it would slot straight in there. You could program it up, and it would work fantastically. And that's just one example. Another example is these trims here. So all of these trims you could specify in carbon fibre, the carbon fibre finish, and same with that silver one there. Again, you can, I mean, they're quite expensive, but you can order them from Porsche. You can have them taken out and switched over. And the same goes for the seats. So these are the standard sport seats. They're very, very comfortable. However, in this car, you could also have a hardback sport seat. So they have a grey plastic here, and they have wider shoulders here, and the bolsters are also stick out further. Again, those can be bought new from Porsche directly and fitted by Porsche or a specialist of your choice. You may even be able to find a set second hand out of a car that has been broken up for parts. There could be someone on one of the Porsche forums that has a set of the hardback sport seats and they're upgrading to, I don't know, race bucket seats or something, and they want to get rid of their to them standard seat. I'll show you all the different steering wheels that are available as well with this car, because obviously you could get different colour leathers, you could even get carbon fibre around the edge. So I'll just show you those options now as well. And the same with the PDK shifter. I believe you could get that in carbon fibre as well. So I'll just bring up a picture of that if it is available. The seals are the same. So this is the standard seal. So it has mainly black plastic, and then it has an aluminium insert with the models etched into it. There was the option to have this in carbon fibre, to have it in stainless steel, and also to have this bit illuminated. So actually when you open the door, all this was lit up. So at night it would be a white sort of finish. I'll just show you those options as well. Now you can actually get all of those parts. I'm not saying they're cheap, but if it means that you buy a car and then you're able to spec it to your preference, then that's better than not having the car at all. So the next item I'm going to cover is the rear tail lights. So these are actually what are called the sort of GTS spec clear lights. They're an optional extra and they can be ordered from Porsche. Normally they're red, much more red around the whole lens is red essentially, rather than sort of this white here and then the red around the edge. So you can get these off the shelf from Porsche, which again changes the look of the car. And the trouble is, if you were looking for a car with these lights, you could spend a long time finding them with those lights, but all the other bits you want. Say, for example, if you wanted one with Sport Chrono, so it has that stopwatch there, it has Sport Plus. Also, the fact that it is equipped with PASM could be something that you're specifically after. And things like the rear tail lights, you can essentially spec afterwards and just worry about getting a car with PASM. Even the other one, I would say that is quite surprising to some people, is the sports exhaust. Now, some people, they must have a sports exhaust, so they'll discount cars that haven't got the sports exhaust. But actually, that is a dealer fit option. And I've seen a couple of I've actually had a couple of Boxsters and Caymans that it was retrofitted after new by Porsche for around in the region of £1,600. So that's supplying the valved exhaust back box and also that switch panel, changing it so it has the switchable exhaust button on it, and then programming it up, so telling the car that it has the switchable exhaust. The same goes for cruise control. So this car has cruise control, and a lot of people love cruise control, but some of the cars just were never spec with it. Now, obviously, it comes at a cost. I think it's in the region of £400 or £500. You can have cruise control fitted to any one of these cars. All you do is you advise whoever you wanted to do it, they would order the additional stalk mechanism, fit it, and then again with their Porsche diagnostic system, they would be able to go into the car's diagnostics ECU and basically tell the car it now has cruise control, and everything else will work. Because essentially these cars are quite clever. You can basically say this car has cruise control, this car has sports exhaust, and provided you've actually physically now got sports exhaust or cruise control or whatever it is, Bluetooth, they can be programmed in at a later date. The next option I'm going to talk about is the wheels. So I'm going to flash up some of the different style wheels you can get for the Caymans and Boxsters of this era. And you can see there is quite a multitude of different styles, both 19 and 20-inch wheels. These are 20-inch wheels, and they're finished in gloss black, but with a silver edge. This is a factory finish, and also the insides are actually sort of like a satin silver. Now they can be spec'd in silver. Actually, this 991 has the same wheels, but just in silver, and you can see it makes a huge difference. They're actually called the Carrera S, 20-inch Carrera S wheels, and they're identical. Obviously, the widths might be different, but it's the same style, but painted differently. So that's another thing you can look at, is if you see a car with Carrera S wheels, say, in this finish, you could go to Porsche, or you could go to any alloy wheel refurber, and provided they're half decent, you could say, I want them in this colour design. And it will immediately change how the car looks. Another option from the tech equipment list of additional items you can spec are these decals. So you can have the model designation on the side there. Sorry for the dirt on this car, it's just done a test drive. Likewise, there's larger sort of Porsche stripes you can put down the side. You can even get a center decal here. I'll show up some of the options of that over the screen now as well. And then finally, with the Cayman, you have the option, and with the Boxster as well, to fit the what's called the Sport Design package. And I'll just show some details of that on the screen. But essentially what that is a different front bumper and a different lower rear bumper, which gives you sort of like a rear splitter, aerodynamic fins along it, and the front it will just make it stick out further. So at the front here, it sort of has more of a shape to it. It's not saying that the standard Cayman is inferior or lacking in terms of sporty look, it just enhances it further. And there are actually sport design mirrors. So these are the standard mirrors. And I'll just show you a picture of the sport design mirrors, which have a different bottom to them, and they're all body coloured. And then I guess one final thing is cars equipped with PASM sit 10 mil lower on the ground. It isn't adjustable height, it just, from even just sitting still, they are 10 mil lower than a car without PASM. It's just how they've been set up from the factory with the spring setup and the dampers. You can sort of emulate that sort of look of the car by just fitting subtle lowering springs, which fit on the standard dampers and will essentially give it that same look. Yes, the handling won't be switchable like it is with the PASM equipped cars, but it will have that same stance that this does with the PASM suspension. Oh, I said I would quickly show you the steering wheel. So going back to the different steering wheels in person. So a standard PDK steering wheel has these buttons here. So it's push away to go up a gear and pull towards you to go down a gear. And it's the same on both sides. So you can essentially change gears up and down on one side, which is great. And this is actually an optional steering wheel because it's the multi-function steering wheel. So it has all of these extra buttons, which the standard steering wheel doesn't. I don't have a car with the basic steering wheel, but I'll show you a picture of that now. But actually, just a point to note, so this car has chrono, so it has Sport Plus. It's also got PASM, but it doesn't have the exhaust button here, so it doesn't have a switchable exhaust. But as I said, this panel can be replaced. The exhaust back box can be replaced with the switchable one, and the car can be programmed up to have the switchable exhaust option. So the same applies to 911s as well, as it does to Caymans and Boxsters. So I'll just go back to the other steering wheel again and show you. So there's it's plus on this side, minus on this side. So you go down a gear here, up a gear there. So it changes the style of how it works in sort of manual mode. The customization can even extend to the keys themselves. So these, the Cayman and the Boxster and the 911s of the same era, so the 991, 911s, the 981 Boxsters and Caymans onwards have these sort of car-shaped keys. Now these side bits here, you can actually get customized. You can buy shells, even Porsche supply them, and also aftermarket manufacturers supply them. These can be removed and you can have them essentially painted in the colour of your car. So you could have these in Guards Red. I think you can even get carbon ones now as well. So that you can even customise the key to match the car. And then going back to the interior as well, one other thing I forgot to mention earlier was the seat belts. So the seat belts on this have been spec'd, rather than in the standard black, they've been spec'd in red to match the red paintwork and sort of bring an extra highlight into the interior. So you could get these in a number of different colours. I think blue, yellow, grey are some of the other colours. And they can be retrofitted as well. So you don't need to sort of stick with what's in the car. Same with mats. You can get different colour mats. I mean, this is actually an over mat, which sits over the standard mats. I just use this for test drives because it keeps the floors of the car in good condition. There are some useful actual resources out there. On my website, so if you click on a car, so that is actually that one there. Well, first of all, actually, I have this PDF, which is on all the cars, to try and help you see. It has the full spec of the car. So all of the option codes that the car came with, so there's quite a few on this one. Then I write out what all the standard stuff is, plus all the options are asterisks, so you know exactly what that car's got, including things like cup holders. I then go through all the diagnostics, and then the service history. But what I actually wanted to show you is, on every car, I have the original sales brochure from Porsche, so you can actually see what was possible from the factory. So that car was made 2014. All the different things that were available in 2014, the colours, the equipment, so PASM, non-PASM, PDLS, driver's lights and non-PDLS, everything down to bows. One thing I didn't mention was calipers. You can also get in different colours. There's the chrono, there's PASM, there's the multifunction steering wheel, different lights. But these make fantastic reading if you're looking to get one of these cars. Have a read of one of these manuals. So there we go. There's the different steering wheels, which I've already showed you. And there's the different seats, which were possible. Likewise, they've even got the luggage there. So I mean, these make great reading. Even if you're just browsing and thinking about, is a Porsche for me, go on my website, see a car that you like, and you can actually read the actual Porsche literature. There's all the different colours, so you know. I mean, on the market now, there's maybe a dozen, 2 dozen of the Cayman S's on the market. This gives you the full breakdown of all the different colours that were possible, as well as individual colours as well that someone might expect. But it gives you, so sometimes, for example, some people like aqua blue metallic. At any one time, there might be one, there might be no aqua blue metallics. But by looking at this brochure, you know that there is a possibility that one may come up because it was specable from new. And likewise, all the different interior colours and combinations. You could even have carbon ceramic brakes, different wheel designs, different stereos, other things like having the Cayman S on the center armrest cover. So that's all on there. So like I said, it's on every single car. You literally go to the cars page, and it's just down the right hand side here. It'll be the sales brochure. So if I click on a different one here, I've got a 911 Turbo, which is just going to load. I've actually got 2 there, but there, you'd click there. So there you go. So similar kind of thing. A Porsche are great at sales brochures, so they know how to lay everything out that a potential buyer from new really wanted to know. But it makes great reading material and great research material for someone who's thinking about buying one of these secondhand, because you can actually figure out exactly what the technology is. Quite often, what I find quite funny is that a lot of salespeople don't know what PASM is. Whether a car was, you could get a car with sports exhaust or not, what kind of seat options there were. Quite often, it's an unknown. So these kind of documents give you things. I mean, like TV tuner, you could spec. I haven't seen a car with TV tuner, but essentially it was something that was possible. So it's good to have these documents as a reference guide when you're thinking about buying one of these Porsches. And likewise, there are additional. I've got this one here for the Cayman. So this catalogue is designed specifically for making changes post-production. So I mean, even things like here you've got different valve caps. You've got black locking wheel bolts, snow chains. So this kind of catalogue is quite useful. These are a bit harder to get hold of. I've just got a hard copy, so I've been scanning the pages that I'm referring to in this video, but this has all the different wheel styles. So you can, they do encourage you to check. There's the clear lights, there's the mirrors that I showed you, there's the Cayman S that's on the side of the car, the gas red car here, and there's the rear, and there's the front. So these are useful as well. I've only got a few of these. I haven't got masses. I mean, you could even have wood trim. I don't think I've ever seen a wood trim in a Cayman. Carbon's probably more common, but you can actually switch all these round. And there's that stripe, the seats, and then a fuel filler as well. You can get an aluminium look fuel filler. Okay, so there you have it. I hope you found this video useful. I hope it helps you try and make a decision over what spec is best for you, what spec you'd like in your next Porsche. If you have any questions at all about spec, about what options are available, what's possible in terms of changing a car that you might like but doesn't have everything you would desire in an ideal world, then please don't hesitate to drop a comment down below or message me through my website. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.